Hi there, you are welcome to my channel. In this tutorial you will learn how to set up a blog in Next.js. In this tutorial we will cover how to utilize new features app directory dynamic app routing in Next.js. We also see how to use MDX pages for blogs. We also see how to use TailwindCSS for automatic styling. In Next.js, there are three approaches for rendering MDX pages. Next.mdx, the official build by the Next team, MDX bundler, and also we have next-mdx-remote built by the HashiCorp. So in this tutorial we are going to use next-mdx-remote for reading our blogs from the file system. Next-mdx-remote gives us the ability to expand in the future and pull blogs from external sources like database, CMS, external tools such as Notion. Let's get started. Let's open Visual Studio Code and create a new folder Next.js blog and drop it on the Visual Studio Code. Now let's go to the view, and then in the view we have a option for terminal. So click on the terminal, and now our terminal is open. To create next app, let's write a command npx create next app at latest and include tailwind and dot slash. It's mean we are going to create our application in the same folder. Let's hit enter, and now for the TypeScript I will say yes, for the ESLint I will say yes, for the src directory I will say no, for the app route I will say yes, for import aliases I will say no, and now it's going to install our applications. It will take some time for installation. In the terminal you can see the dependencies are installing for our Next.js application. Now our application installed. Let's make it clear, and now let's install the other dependencies. Npx install next-mdx-remote. Now hit enter. Now it's going to install next-mdx-remote for our project. After the installation of project, let's make it clear again, and now install both remaining dependency gray matter and the tailwind / typography for our project. It's going to install. Now let's go to the tailwind.config.js. in the file let's go down, and in the plugin let's add our required tailwind typography for automatic styling. Let me add it, and now we have added. Let's save it and close the file, and let's go to the global.css and remove all the default style. Now we have remaining these three lines of code. So let's go to the layout.txs, and in the HTML tag of the code let's write our classes for our default CSS tailwind style. Let's write the background, and then let's make the text white and set the maximum width, also the margin X auto, and pending white 20 and pending X4. Let's remove the line of the font and also import font from the Google, and now change the title for our application. Let's set it remaining, and now let's remove this line also. Now save the file and close it, let's go to the root directory and create a new folder, name it blogs, and in the blogs write a file with the name first blog.mdx and hit enter. Now the mdx is created. Let's go write code for our mdx. Now our first MDX blog page is created. Let's close it. And now let's go to the folder public and create a new folder inside, name it img, and let's download an image from Unsplash and go to Unsplash and write gaming PC and you will get an image. Let's download and save it on the desktop, name it gaming PC. And now after renaming it, let's drop it in the public folder and inside the img folder. Now you can see it, and let's go to the app folder and go to the page.txs and delete all the code inside return brackets. Now let's add our required imports. First we need to import fs to read our blogs from the file system, path to find the local path to our blog, matter to extract the metadata from our blog, and link, and then we have to import link to able to link to our blog. So let's go to the function. In the home function, let's define blog directory. Now to find all the files in the blog directory, we have to define the files variable, and then we have to join the path and then join the blogs. So now we are going to define blogs variable. For each file we defined, we will have to map file names. Now in the map of the files, let's define file content. File content to read the content of the blog. For this we will use fs.read file sync and then path and join blog directory and then file name, and we have to define now let's extract metadata for the blog content. For this we have to use front matter and then file content. So let's return our output. To do this, I will say return and then meta at front matter and then we have to return the slug file name that replace MDX. Now in the return of the home function, we have to define the main tag where we will display our blog. Now that we have got our blocks variable, we can now display the blocks on the page. Here I am mapping through each blog and display the blog title and description. The link tag also link to the individual page. So now we have completed our page. Let's go to the terminal and write npm run dev to run our application. Now you can see the localhost 3000 is showing here. Let's press Ctrl and then click on the link. Now it's going to open in the browser. Now our blog are showing on the page, but you can see there are two title of my first blog. The first, it should be one. Let's see why it's showing two titles. Now let's go to the page.txs and go to the blog.map, and then you can see that we have two titles, h3 headings. So let's remove one heading. The second one, I am going to remove the second one, which is here. So let's select this and remove it. Let's save the file and go to the browser, and you can see that there are only one title is showing now. So that's great. Now let's stop running application by clicking Ctrl+C and yes. Now I am going to write another blog MDX file, and then I will say second blog .mdx. Now let's write copy all the text from the first file and then paste it, and let me change the title and then change the date and also change the description for the second blog. And now I am going to change all the specific words in the second blog. Now I am going to remove the image to make it simple. Now our second blog is also ready. Let's close it and run application again. So go to the browser, localhost 3000, and you can see there our second blog is also showing here. The first blog and the second blog with the description and the date is displaying on the page. Let's close again and then close the terminal. And now the last page was a home page where all the blogs are displaying. Now let's create a blog page for individual blog to display. So the blog page will display the content of blog itself. To do this, it will be use MDX remote to render the .mdx file into HTML. It will then use TailwindCSS typography plugin to automatically style our markdown. First, let's create in the app directory, create a new folder called blogs, and then in the blogs folder write create a new folder with open brackets, square open brackets, slug, and then brackets close. This is called dynamic routing in Next.js. Now in the slug folder, let's create a page.txs, and then in the this page let's write our code to display individual block. We finish our code. Let's open the terminal and run our application. So npm run dev and hit enter. Now let's open in the browser, and now our blocks are showing. Let's click on our first block and it will navigate to the our next first block. So the first block is showing in the URL, but the problem is that our title is not showing because of the color. So let's go to the page.txs and find the error. So I think there is a exclamation mark is missing in p rows colon dash invert. So let's put it and save the file and go to the browser again, and you can see now our blog is showing clearly. So that's great. Our application and blogs are showing perfectly. Let's check another blog, the second blogs. Let's click on the second blog, and our second blog is also showing nice. That's great. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I will meet you in the next tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.